Jesus invited you to come to salvation, if you'd come, you'd get it. Because He promised it. He promised it. Now, let's not doubt it. But let's believe it with all of our heart. Now, don't fight at it. Just know that it's got to be done. It has to be done. Jesus said, speak this word. Don't you doubt. And He was the very one. And those visions, so far as I know, with all my heart, not one time have they failed. Not one time. And He said the other night, and that vision I told you, before God who I stand, that is true. See? He's seen that serpent bound. He said, you'll have to be more sincere. That's what I'm striving for, is more sincere. And each one coming along this morning, I tried to think, if that was my mother to those women, if that was my sister sitting back there, if that was my wife sitting back there, or one of my children sitting back there, what if it was them? Trying to place myself in their position, to be sincere. And if you notice, I just happens to come to my memory, over the other day, when I was in California, and stand at that businessman's breakfast, I think I've got it here, I'm pretty sure, I was looking at it just a while ago, a prophecy that was given, here it is right here. This was given after standing and preaching a hard sermon, and people are here this morning, Brother Roy Borders for one, that was there, I believe, where Roy's at, was, sitting here, was there when this taken place, and many others that were there, when a boy that was a Baptist, it was Jane Russell's cousin, the movie star. Anything can come in that breakfast that wants to come. And when I got through speaking, the boy walked over and put his arms around me and said, when I come off the one platform down to another to speak to the congregation, which several hundred was present, and I was speaking on a broadcast that went across the nation at 9 o'clock the following night. It was being taped then. And when this, I stepped down on this next level to speak another time to these people here, and one of the great denominations had, one of their great men was standing there and was resenting the message, see, by saying, I was talking about I was over in Phoenix a few days before that and seen several different fruits growing on one tree. I seen on an orange tree was grapefruit, lemons, and I believe tangerines and tangelos and all them different things growing because it's a citrus tree. But I said, every year it blooms and puts forth new fruits. But there's only those original branches. When the real tree itself brings forth another branch, it puts out the same kind of fruit that it is in stalk. But these other trees are bearing their fruit, although they're living off the life of this tree. I said, that's like organizations being placed into the vine. Jesus said, I'm the vine. And every time that vine puts forth a branch, it'll be just like the vine. So you'll have the same fruit. Well, this great minister of the biggest Pentecostal organization we had was standing there and resented it. See? Said that I didn't mean it that way. But I got back and said, I do mean it that way. Amen! I said, exactly, I take nothing back. The other day when I spoke about those altars, not knowing, never seeing that in history, I never have said nothing yet in the platform under inspiration I ever had to take back. Amen. You can call that cedar serpent or whatever you wish to, whatever them messages was, or the great harlot that so much kick is against. Just come, won't you come to me with the scriptures with it? See, amen. See what's right. This man come up there, put his arms around me, and was going to say, he said, Brother Branham, not to be sacrilegious, but that could have made the 23rd chapter of Revelations. You know, another book added, of course, he said that wouldn't be right. Of course, we're not supposed to add anything to it. Just as he started to say that, he started speaking in tongues. And the boy didn't know what speaking in tongues meant.
Parce que tu as choisi le sentier étroit, le chemin plus difficile. Tu y as marché de ton propre choix. Tu as pris la décision correcte et exacte. Et c'est mon chemin. à cause de cette décision capitale, une vaste portion du ciel t'attend. Quelle décision glorieuse tu as prise! Cette chose en soi est ce qui produira et fera s'accomplir la victoire formidable dans l'amour divin.
And as soon as it did, right out in front of me was a French woman from Louisiana. She said that needed no interpretation. That was pure French. And a man over here got up and said, that's right. And way back in the back was the interpreter for the UN. Give his name, never been there before. He said, correctly, that's right. And here's what they got together, and each one of them had the same thing when they come together. Each one of the ones giving the interpretation exactly. And this Frenchman, the second one over here, he wrote it out because he'd been taking minutes of the meeting. Here's what he wrote. I, Victor Deluxe, am a Frenchman full-blooded, born-again Christian, filled with the Holy Spirit. I live at 809 North King Road, Los Angeles, 46. Attend Bethel Temple. Arnie Vick is our pastor, Pentecostal minister, biggest Pentecostal church in Los Angeles. A translation of a prophecy over Brother Branham given by Danny Henry in French, February the 11th, 1961, at the Full Gospel Businessman's Breakfast, a true translation of the prophecy. All three of them said this is it. Because thou hast chosen the narrow path, the harder way, thou hast walked in your own choosing. Thou hast picked the correct and precise decision. And it is my way. Because of this momentous decision, a huge portion of heaven will await thee. What a glorious decision thou hast made. This in itself is that which will give and make come to pass the tremendous victory in the love divine. Because thou hast chosen the narrow path. See, just against, I'd have to walk by yourself, see. I can understand that. Moses had to make his choice too. He didn't have to do it, but he did it. See? The harder way. Thou, see, because thou hast chosen the narrow path, the harder way thou hast made, thou hast walked of your own choosing. In other words, I didn't have to do it. I can side in and go with them if I want to, but I want to stay at the Word. Thou hast picked the correct and precise decision. And it is my way. If you'll notice, it's punctuated and underlined. And if you notice, it's wrote in French, it's spoken French, verb before the adverb, see? Because of this momentous decision, a huge portion of heaven awaits thee. Now that's what I wonder. When I die, will it be? Now I have to think, heaven's not portioned off different portions to us up there. Heaven is the kingdom of heaven that's within us. One waits for. See? Now watch. What a glorious decision thou hast made. This in itself is that which will give and make come to pass the tremendous victory in the love divine. See, we say it in the tremendous victory in the divine love. But in French it would be love divine. It's like German or any other. See, they put the verb before the adverb. Now you see what coming down the Jordan meant? We're down here now. Let's cross over now. Amen. Let's quit playing. Let's cross the other side now because it all belongs to us. It's all ours. And the visions has never failed. No. They can't fail because they come from God. I believe it with all that is within me. We're not the hireling that will run back into the wilderness. We'll cross Jordan. The separation. God break to us the seals. It's on the back of the book. Let us enter into this great place now. For Joshua divided to the people their inheritance that God had left for them.
Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the word of this prophecy, and keep the things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.